Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time for War 7 of the season. We've got 8 fights, lots of them with Doom, couple with Archangel, and that's right, you saw it on the thumbnail, rank 4 Miguel finally gets to come to war. He's not banned, and we have fights for him. Worked out beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's a lot of fights, so I want to get straight to it. This hit me, I dare you, static defense, and heavy-handed return policy. Return policy is the part I really want to point out for this node. We're going to be going up against this Mole Man, bringing in Doom, lots of shock, right? Resistance, not resistance, immunity. And the only thing I really want to point out, and we're actually going to fast forward a lot of this fight, is if you nullify the armor up that he's getting, he will get power off of that. I think that's the general idea with this placement. And it just took me a little while to kind of get comfortable with it. I haven't taken Doom to war in a very, very long time. It worked out. I was excited to do it. And I think it's right here. I wanted to, just so you guys could see it, know it exists. And then it's just a lot of me basically baiting heavies, evading special 1s and special 2s, and slowly building my way to his SP3. But you saw it, I threw the SP1 there. Yeah, it nullified the armor up, but we saw what ends up happening is he gains a lot of power. So that could get you in a little bit of trouble, something to keep in mind. And then remember, you can hit into his block or something like that if he does not have monster mass, right? So that's why you saw that in the very beginning. And it's fine, he's down. Then we're gonna move on to this next fight, which originally looked a little disconcerting because it's against Ikaris. And when Ikaris came into this game, I was really bothered. I was bothered because he came into the game and he was bugged. And that bothered me a lot. And so I purposely didn't pay much attention to him. And I saw that I had a fight going against him. I talked to Taylor, I said, hey, look, I think I should use Doom. He's like, yeah, I agree. And we kind of had the same thoughts, which is we're going to give Ikaris an energized buff by, I think that's our light hits. You're going to see how many of those are going to add up. And that just works out perfectly for Doom. I'm running 5 of 5 Mystic Dispersion. I'm just going to nullify those, let those add up. I can throw a lot of specials, so I don't have to worry about the strike counter very much at all. I really just need to pay attention to masochism when its timer is down or up, depending on how you look at it. I need to know that my parries will not land, right? And then not attack in and get into trouble. So there we go. You saw how many energized buffs there are. We're able to nullify those. And I should have gone in more there for that SB1, but it's working fine. And in case you can't tell, remember my mental state right here was like, yep, this plan is working perfectly. I was a little bit concerned because I wasn't rushed, but we needed to take these fights quickly, get some people cleared, and I knew what I had coming up personally for the rest of my afternoon. So went into there, and now I'm just going to Doom. I'm just going to do what Doom does. And I'm going to see what happens because I didn't have the chance to ever take this fight before. I didn't have time to try to look one up on the internet, right, on YouTube. So there we go. And I think I'm going to get to one more SP1. Because of all the buffs and I'm running Mystic Dispersion, I wanted to throw the SP1. I did not want to run the risk of sending Ikaris red and then me having a problem and not being able to throw my SP1 or get to my SP3. So yeah, you could maybe get to your SP2, although I think Ikaris might be Incinerate immune. I'll leave a note on the screen there for you when I come back and do the edit there. But you can see how well that goes. Doom just controls the fight. There's so many buffs that you're actually putting on Ikaris that Doom can then take advantage of with his SP1 and that sort of thing. So that's fine. Now this fight, this is a whole nother story. This is the first time I've brought Miguel into war, and Tater starts me off with Mixmaster Ebony Ma. I like the confidence he showed in me. It actually was cool because I went into the fight very, very confident myself. I have not taken Mixmaster in a while, and you will see that come into play here. They are going to place the White Magneto pre-fight for me, which is helpful. It just ends up confusing me even more. And there's the Power Focus 1, which Taters did point out, that's just going to help Ma get to his SP1 more and more. So really the idea would be to continue to re-parry, right? Because I'm not going to be able to parry off the first hit. And then alternate between a heavy attack and then a medium light, and just keep that going. I'm also going to start with an advanced power boost here on this one. And watch what happens. This is really weird. So you can see I'm boosted huge. I've even got on the big science boost. I have an advanced power boost, but watch this. It's supposed to give you a bar of power. And I've taken a quick look at it. I can't figure out why. I only got like a half a bar of power. I have no idea what that's about. You can see I had so many thoughts going on. I already messed up Mixmaster once, and you're going to actually see me do it again. Fortunately, because of a lot of the fight I recently took of Ma with an Overseer, I know the spacing pretty well. Obviously, Miguel is a little different than Overseer, though. And then you're going to see, I'm going to eventually land my SP1 here. I do feel like parry time is off. You're seeing this right here. I'm trying to re-parry, and I'm getting hit a lot. And at this point in the fight, I actually decided, well, I want to show you this SP2. Look at how much damage this does. That did from 70 to 32%. That's 40% health. This is a 217 health Ebony Maw. This is a rank 4 Miguel. I'm boosted really big, but the guy can do some damage, and that was just the SP2. But I did feel like reparry timing was off, and so I just buckled down. I was like, okay, no more fanciness. I'm gonna bait heavies. I'm gonna punish them with my own heavy, and then I'm going to punish them with my medium and light. Medium, as you're seeing right there, with the power back boost, I went to the SP2. So that's something I really recommend. If the fight's not going the way you think it is, and there's some not fancy but like advanced tactics, and they're not working, it's fine. Just don't do the advanced tactics. Go simple. The worst thing that happens is it makes you have to heal 1 or 2 more times. And this is very frequent with people who are playing Hercules. If you're not landing your intercepts with the specials and like that, don't sweat it. They are powerful enough. Hercules is powerful enough. Miguel in that fight is powerful enough. You can bait. You can just drop it down, go back to basics. I don't have to reparry. I can just bait the heavies. He will eventually throw them. And I can do medium light or the heavy itself because I knew the spacing. All right. Now moving in, we're going to this fight here against Man-Thing, this buff and balance weakness. Opportunist, Divine Barrier, Heal Block. I'm not running the Recoil Trail Mastery, so I don't need to worry about the heal block. I am going to heal up Miguel because it's war. It's what I do. But it's also, you know, this is my first interaction with this. I think I'm going to heal up. Ooh, I was feeling spicy, apparently. I was feeling extra confident. I did not heal up. All right, let's see how this goes. So we're going in there. In this fight, and this is something I was trying to do with Mixmaster, but I shouldn't have, is with Miguel, once you get up that first wither, you want to hit into the defender's block so you can be landing those ruptures. Those do end up creating a lot of damage. They will do a significant amount for you. But not a good idea against Mixmaster. And I think here, what I was doing is I was just hoping he would block. Here we go. There. So you can see I'm landing those ruptures, getting those going. And then every time he crosses a bar of power, those are going to erupt. Because my Miguel is SIG 200, let's see, we should get a nice source of damage here if he throws his special. So we threw our special 2. We did get a rupture there when we threw our special 2 because it pushed him over 2 bars of power. So there we go, intercepting there. This was just, at some point I was just having fun in this fight. Landing the SP1, which lands the physical vulnerability. Remember, Miguel can't be, he doesn't get any buffs, so Man-Thing can't place any of his postules or anything like that. This is just really a tailor-made fight for Miguel. And then, poor Man-Thing down. Man-Thing died. So that was really fun. I'm really excited to have brought Miguel in. He showed what he can do, and I know he can do so much more. And what was really cool, did not bring the anti-venom synergy. No anti-venom synergy for any of those. Pretty cool stuff. All right, moving on to this fight against Venom. We have the buff and balance weakness. Rich gets richer. This is really just Divine Barrier. Oh yeah, that's right. We did have to play around this. I remember this now. So this is just going to be about playing around the Divine Barrier, right? So there's going to be that 10-second period of time where we're not going to be able to nullify. Knowing Venom's animations, obviously you want to bait the SP1 if you can. The SP2 isn't that bad as far as a partial evade. You are going to see it, if I remember correctly, in this fight. I think so. So here we go. We're going to nullify, and I can see that the Divine Barrier timer is going to be coming up here soon, so I'm not going to be relying on that. I believe we're going to, if I remember correctly, we're going to get all the way to our SP3. And then let the Divine Barrier come on down in case I need to throw that SP1, which I often like to do in a matchup where the opponent has a lot of buffs. So there we go. So now I'm going to feel safe throwing my SP3 because the Divine Barrier timer went down. It's the pink passive underneath Venom, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. So now I know when I get to my SP1, if I want to, I can throw that. And if there's any buffs, I can nullify it. Not really the end of the world, but you'll see. There we go. Yeah, so we were able to nullify the Fury. We're up to 2 bars of power. There's the partial evade of the SP2. I was pretty sure it happened in this fight. And just go in, and I think this finishes him off. No, it doesn't. It took a lot of fights, and some of them weren't scheduled. Oh, that was a cool interaction. So the shock was up there. Decided to go in there, be a little aggressive, and use the passive stun off the heavy because the shock was on Venom. So that was really fun. All right, so moving into this fight, I actually wanted to take it with Miguel. And if I had had a little bit more time in my day to do duels and things like that, I would have tried to talk Taters into letting me do it just because he's so much fun. He is so fun and effective. We've got this Kinetic Transference, Feat of Indestructible. Mangog here. And Taters had just recently taken it in his most recent war video. I watched that a few times. He is a very good player, so he made it look pretty simple. I'm going to make it look not quite as simple as he did. The idea here, though, is I'm going to do what I can to land my heavy to get the staggers up to handle that feat of indestructible, right? I think it was when we reached 1 bar of power 2. I don't remember exactly. But that should handle it for us because that is actually a buff. And then use my SP1 to nullify, maybe power drain a little bit if we need to, and then just play standard Doom. You saw that I did go ahead and put on the indestructible boost. I was less concerned about me being able to control the fight, and I was more concerned about me making a mistake out of being new to the fight and that causing me to have a real problem. So that's why I went with the indestructible, and you're going to see I'm really glad I did. I fight a Mangog every day in AQ. I've heard this in a lot of war videos lately. It shows you how much practice helps. And so I'm comfortable with not necessarily evading the SP2, but being prepared for it and then evading the SP1. I was able to build my way to the SP3. We're going to Doom cycle him. Everything's going great. I mean, it's really going fantastically. I feel very confident with this fight. We're going to get to the SP1 and throw that. There we go. So we've got the nice power gain there. As you see, we have been doing what we can to keep the staggered up so we don't have to deal with the potential indestructible. That's my mistake. There it was. What I should have done, in my opinion, is I should have confirmed that Mangog was blocking, and then once I was completely comfortable with it, gone in and hit him, gotten close so that SP1 would have done a little bit more there. It's fine. This is why I threw the indestructible on. I think I would have survived the SP3 anyway, but I do feel like that was the big mistake that I will try to learn from in that fight. And then now, same thing. He's got he had the shock on him. So get him to block, make sure he's blocking, go in, passive stun, and then we've got the end of this fight here. I think I'm going to throw my SP1 here. So there we go. Nice little reparry. Finish it off. So felt very good, felt in control. And then at this point, I was all boosted up, and I'll let him tell it in his video. I think Legacy was out having a good time, as the young man should be. And so they're like, Vega, can you take this fight? Because I'm taking a mini boss 2 fights afterwards. I'm already boosted. They said they'd put on the Horseman ability for me. For those of you who are going to be asking, and I get this question almost every time this happens, someone else had a full genetic code Apocalypse. They placed the Horseman pre-fight on this node, and then I came up and took it because I was the next player, the next mutant to come in. The Horseman pre-fight will stay with me. They lose their genetic code. All right, so this is Safeguard Recovery. This obviously is a fight that Archangel, if he can parries, and the defender is not immune to bleed or poison, can handle. Remember, High Sig Guardian has a really nice bleed resistance. He is not immune. That's important to keep in mind. The danger of this fight, and I've done this fight before, is that when you decrease Guardian's ability accuracy, he's going to put on the shock. And so it becomes a little bit of a race here. I noticed, like I said, I noticed it in the Moth fight. I felt like the parry timing is a little off. Like I feel like I'm a little bit late, meaning the timing is a little earlier. It could just be me. Could just have been a little bit of nerves, lack of sleep, a little bit a really busy day. But I started to notice it, and I really felt it in this fight. You can see the shock that's counting down on me. I mean, it's counting down for 445. That's not a nothing. I know that once I land enough neuros, my damage will significantly outpace that shock, but it is ever present in my mind, which might be part of why the parries got a little trickier to land. But as you can see, we're already got it down. He's going to go down. I'm just going to heal up for the next and final fight. Either Taters or I don't remember who took care of that bishop. They did a great job, obviously. Now we're going to continue to go in. There's all kinds of evade things on this node. There's Limber, Taters, Lizard being the planets they are. They made sure we have a white Magneto pre-fight, which you're going to see will handle this, which means all I really need to do is make sure that the parries land, parry heavy. If she's lucky, I should not combo into her, but if I remember correctly, she can't early shrug the passive stun, even if she is lucky. And then right now, though, I'm like, oh, no. I have on Resonate. I had left it on for my fights with Miguel because it's a debuff. And so every time Resonate is not landing, we are getting the crit failure. And you can see right now, this fight is completely even, but we're starting to step ahead. I've got to get the Neuros on. I'm getting the nice RNG from the Horseman pre-fight too, right? And so this fight is going to be down and be fine. I've fought Domino with Archangel so many times for seasons upon seasons now. I feel extremely comfortable with that fight. And then with the White Magneto pre-fight on top of it, it just makes it that much more smooth. So 8 fights went by really fast, had an absolute blast. For Loki, we're starting to hit our stride, and it feels really, really good. There we go. I wanted you guys to at least see this. So at that point, we were significantly ahead in attacker kills, and we were tied as far as defender kills. We did end up winning. Great war. Everyone played really well. At some point, I think it being clear that we had won, and our opponents probably stopped boosting, things like that. It happens. And then I was really excited. I was really, really excited. I did not get MVP. Karate Mike and Clanniest Clown, I think each took 45 fights apiece. And then my boy FaZe was an MVP too. So shout out to those 3 awesome, awesome players, right? Karate Mike, Clown, and FaZe. So I didn't get MVP, but my defense did get 2 kills, one from Null, I believe, and the other from America Chavez. So it's cool to see her putting in some work for us on the defensive end of things. We did end up winning the war. Got 8 fights, which is feels good. Always feels to play a role, and it just continued. I'm excited. This war season is going exceptionally well, having an absolute blast. Going to be putting out a trending video, which will come out the day after this one. So it'll come out this weekend on a Sunday. Well, we're actually going to talk. I'm going to have MP Blaze, DLL, and Taters himself on. We're going to talk about the bans, how that's maybe shifting the meta, how they're enjoying it, any sort of plans or ideas that they would like to present maybe to Kabam, and then talk about new war players. And if you're interested in moving up in tiers, like what's some great advice that these extremely smart war planners and talented war players have on ways that you yourself can move up to higher tiers if you should want to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing Miguel, and I will catch you next time. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.